Welcome in. Welcome to the Reset Room. I am Rhonda. I'm your career reset coach. What is that? I help women get paid, get promoted, change jobs, careers, even industries, get paid what they're worth, and level up. Welcome in. Today is Take Action Tuesday, and we are going to talk about a couple things. I'm going to go through a bit of an HR Q&A. I've had a lot of questions and responses to my content. Hey, the happy. It faded out on me. Hey, the happy. Welcome in. I'm definitely going to start with some HR Q&A. I've had a lot of questions about like HR, what it is, what it isn't, and also some questions about why a lot of people aren't good HR practitioners. So I definitely want to talk about that because some of it is sort of not their fault. Like some of the companies create, unfortunately, unintentionally, but they sort of create it on their own. And then some of it, is also in the hands of the employees. So definitely want to talk about that before we jump back into creating our digital products. So definitely want to check in with everybody to see how the week has gone, if they've made any progress, if they're stuck on anything that folks are trying to co-host. I don't battle, at least not yet. I do want to talk to the community today, though, about potentially on Wednesdays for us is Winning Wednesday. So definitely want to talk to the community today about potentially battling. Hey, Jody J, welcome in. Thank you for the heart me. Hey, governess, welcome in. I was just giving out the lay of the land today. We're going to go through some. Hey, family, good to see you. I watched you from the hallway earlier today. I was on the train, Jody, and the signal is just so spotty. So it's really hard to go into lives because it'll just glitch. You can never, it can never really communicate well. But I did watch you a little way from the hallway. Always good to see you. Yes, governess, I am home, back in my hometown. Whew, y'all, I just thought about it today. I said, I have been on, not in addition to planes, trains, and automobiles, in the last 3 days, I've been on a ship too. I'm like, oh my goodness, there's a whole lot going on in my world. Yeah, it's life is just life, but it's fine. I'm home. I took the train upstate today to handle some family stuff, business, so I'll be here for the rest of the week. And your girl is tired. I said I need a vacation from vacation and a reset from my reset. Thank you, Jody. But it is all good. I am so glad to be here. I tried to go. Thank you for those fest pops. Thank you so much, family. I tried to go live yesterday, y'all, and I just did not have it in me. Like I truly, Jody. I just did not have it in me. I was just exhausted. The cruise was amazing. Oh my God, it was my first time sailing with Celebrity, and it was awesome. We were sailing for 8 nights, which is definitely the long. Jody, is your finger stuck? Jody! Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, sister. Oh, hey, Saving with Sibby. I think I got that right. Come on in. Hey, user, welcome in. I know, right? Governess was about to say the same thing. Is her finger stuck on that button? Jody, thank you so much, sister. But yeah, yes, the cruise was amazing. First time sailing with Celebrity. It was 8 nights. It was a beautiful ship. We had a balcony room. I streamed a couple times from the balcony, from different parts of the ship. It was amazing. It was beautiful. Jody, I think your finger's stuck. Oh, Jody. Oh my God, you met my goal. Jody, get your finger off the button. Thank you so much, sister. Okay, now see, You got me. I'm new to this, Judy. Hey, Jody. Hey, True. Welcome in. Now I got to reset my goal. I'm still new to pushing all these buttons and things and learning to figure all this stuff out. Oh, TikTok be doing the most. You're not going to believe what it said that I should make my goal. I'm not even going to say that out loud. They need to stop. But we're just going to go back. And I like those Fast Pops. I think they're just so cute. So we're just going to do those again. I think they're beautiful. But yeah, the cruise was amazing. Had a wonderful, wonderful time. We stopped at a lot of ports. We went to Antigua. And let me correct myself, Antigua. The natives definitely corrected us Americans the minute we got off the ship. It is Antigua. We went to St. Martin. We went to Puerto Rico. We were in Puerto Rico actually on Thanksgiving Day. So that was really cool. And they're already like decorated for Christmas. So Feliz Navidad was like all over the city. Like it was amazing. And then our last stop was the Dominican Republic. So yeah, it was an awesome trip. And the sailing was pretty smooth, but the last night traveling from Dominican Republic back to Florida. Hey, Alana, welcome in. That ship did all sorts of rocking. I mean, it was like you couldn't even walk down the halls. You had to grip the walls. That was rough. I just had to take to my bed because it was a whole lot, but it was a beautiful cruise. And back to reality, getting home, and I've had little ones on planes and all of that before, but this little darling, they were twins. They were three. One sat behind me and he just wanted to, kick the seat and hit the seat, for 3 hours ride, mind you, from Fort Lauderdale all the way to New York City. And his father was trying to control him. But then his twin sister, I feel like she just said, hey, Pearl Beauty, welcome in. I'm about to annoy my parents and these other 350 people on this plane. Because she wasn't crying, y'all. Like, I mean, I understand babies cry, but this was like a yell. She literally, it was like that for 3 hours, y'all. Yeah, so it was a long day getting home. But glad to be back. Oh, look, I can't even talk. I am glad to be black too, though. But glad to be back here with all of you. For those of you watching from the hallway or just popping in. Hey, Tracy, welcome in. Welcome to the Reset Room. My name is Rhonda. I'm a career reset coach. I help people change jobs, change careers, companies, industries even, level up at work, get promoted, and get paid. Tonight, we are talking about HR because I get every time I'm on a live, and they definitely in my comment, lots of questions about HR. So I definitely want to kind of go over just some high level stuff. And, if folks have other questions, we can talk about it. And we'll talk about sort of the good and the bad. And sort of what it is and what it's not. Like I hear this all the time that everyone thinks that HR is the company's police. We're not. But we're not your best friend either. And so, that's sort of this line. Like if you think about HR, it's a line between sort of employees on one side and the company over here. And how I like to think about HR is like we're air traffic controllers, right? Okay, so like we're not flying the planes. That's the managers, that's the employees, but we're air traffic controllers. We're making sure that everyone lands safely, that nobody dies, and that there's a good path forward. And I'm not oblivious to know that there are not a lot. I won't say there are not a lot of great HR people. Let me say it differently. I'll say that there's enough not good HR people to make folks think that as a whole, the industry and discipline is bad. And a lot of it, unfortunately, y'all, is not their fault. What happens the most, probably the biggest problem in HR, and it happens way too many times, is that people get promoted by accident into HR. And it happens all the time. So it's like, oh, Mary's great. She's a great admin. She's been here like 10 years. You know, she's good with paperwork. Let's move her to HR. No. And Mary can be great at all those things, but what they don't consider is the people part. Like just being good at, most folks that are good at paperwork are less good at the people part, unfortunately. And so that's sort of where it happens, you know, and I've seen it way too many times where the secretary gets promoted into HR. No training, no foundation. They're like, okay, just go and do that job. Hey, chicken and bullies, welcome in. Thank you for following. Thank you for the follow and the heart me. So we're doing a little HR Q&A. Folks always ask me all the questions. So I'm just talking a little bit about sort of why the field is just full of some folks that may not. Oh, chicken and bullies, join the invite from Jody Share. Oh, thank you, Jody. And thank you, chicken and bullies, for coming in. Yeah, and some of it is not their fault. Like I said, a lot of people get promoted by accident. And who doesn't want the promotion, right? You've been at a company a long time. Somebody says, hey, we want to promote you into this role. They're like, oh, yeah, okay, HR, that's paperwork. Yeah, well, it used to be just paperwork. But people forget about the people component of it. And so that's sort of where it just kind of can go left. So generally people get promoted on accident. And then also a big chunk of what happens too is like money. So like if with private companies, if they get an investor that gives them a couple $1 million and they need to hire 40 people, they're like, oh, somebody's got to do the paperwork. And so again, the secretary becomes the HR person. You know, not good. But it happens all the time. In nonprofit where, you know, I work currently. Hey, DT, I think that was. Welcome in. You know, it happens with grants funding. A huge grant comes in, you've got to hire 50 people. So then you have an organization that's probably 20 people that blossoms to 70. And then in addition to being paperwork chaos, you got people chaos, and it's just a nightmare all around. You know, and a lot of times, like people that are trained like in policies, like if you can write a good policy, a lot of folks think that they make good HR people. And what they're really forgetting is the people aspect. Like you've got to be relatable. You've got to be warm. There's a personality to it. And you've got to, you know, you got to understand a little crazy. Like I was a psych major in undergrad, and psych majors actually make the best HR people. And it's because they've been trained in people. You can teach anyone to, you know, write a policy or do the paperwork part. But when that people aspect is there, like you're not gonna have successful HR people and cultures, you know, on the job. And then another thing that happens is like organizations don't put a lot of money into HR. Like I joined a company once and the HR reported to the IT director. What does the IT director know about HR? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like he was useless. You know, and I quickly said so. But yeah, like that was a real thing because it was like, oh, well, you know, it's just paper. They're still, again, forgetting the people part until something blows up. Like I've been on vacation for a week. Hey, Taco Style, welcome in. Good to see you. Yeah, I've been on vacation for a week. Thank you for the heart me. And I hired a new director before I left. And, you know, I was a little nervous, you know, going on vacation with them being so new. And I was like, okay, well, what's the worst that can happen? Well, it wasn't the worst thing that happened, but something happened. So we have an employee who actually, he used a racial slur against a client. And my director didn't do an investigation, which is problem number one. And this will lead into sort of like she's a prime example too of why HR people need to be trained by somebody like me. She didn't do an investigation, but she already had automatically made a decision that the person didn't need to be terminated. That a final warning would suffice. So she came from an organization very different culturally than where we work now. And so a lot of people think HR is HR no matter where you go. And in theory, it kind of is. Hey, John, welcome in. You've got hiring, you've got recruiting, you've got interviewing. All of that is pretty, yes, happened during yes. I came back to work today, and actually my boss called me. He texted me yesterday. Well, one manager called me and said, "Oh, got a problem I need to talk to you about." And then he called me to say, "Well, your new person you just hired is a problem." I said, "No, no, yes." So we had an employee who used a racial slur towards. He didn't say it directly to a client, but other staff overheard him using the slur. And where it gets tricky is, if it's the N word, like people have no problem saying, "Oh my God, he should be fired." But anything short of that, they want to give people passes. And I'm like, no, like that is not okay. And so this wasn't that. The person he was dealing with was Asian, and he made some facial slanty eye gestures with his hands and fingers on his face. Like, who raised you? Like, what are you doing? Yeah, so it's kind of bad. But my new director didn't even do an investigation. She told the manager, "You go get some more information and come back to me." What? Now, granted, she came from a small organization where she was a one-woman show. And so this is where, too, a lot of HR people fall into traps. That in theory, HR is HR everywhere you go. But how you administer that and how you navigate through problems and solutions and challenges is where it all changes. And so this is, and even culturally, hey, Revelation and Motherhood, welcome in. Even culturally, like she came from a organization in the arts. So I'm in a community-based organization in New York City, okay? So you can just imagine, hey, good to see you. Like, dealing with people in the arts, they're very, up there doing all the things. Listen, we in the bowels of New York City where we're at now. And culturally, you're dealing with different types of employees. And that's just a real thing. That is a real thing. And it's not classist, but it's just real. Like, you're dealing with ballerinas over there. Okay. We're dealing with, not. So, yeah. And so again, this is where, again, you find that HR people find themselves in over their heads. You're in an environment that you just don't know what to do with. And she's new. And I also think this comes up too. I think she's sort of afraid. Like, I don't think she wanted to do an investigation being like the new kid on the block, and having to like fire somebody. And I get that in general, but girl, that's the job. I'm not saying the job is that we go around firing people, but you understand what I'm saying? Like part of the job is, sometimes we have to do investigations, and sometimes you've got to fire folks, but you can't be afraid. Like, we're here to help manage the conflict. We can't become part of it. And so I have to have a long conversation with her tomorrow during her supervision, but it will be all teachable moments. She's very new, and I still think I made a good hire. I definitely do. She just needs somebody like me to mentor her. That's all. But that's just really some of the reasons why just HR kind of just looks bad in different organizations, sort of depending on where you are and what they've experienced. I inherited someone once who worked in hospitality. She came from the hotel industry. And she says, "Well, I was a director in the hotel industry." And I had to sort of break down the difference between, like, we're in a community base. So I've been in nonprofits for 13 years since I moved to New York City. I knew that I wanted to, in my career, giving back. I know that nonprofits don't have a lot of money. It's harder for them to hire good talent because the salaries are lower. But I knew that, like, I had sort of done everything else. And so I knew that that's where I wanted to end my career. So, came there and came here to the city. And so I've been in nonprofits ever since. And so here is someone who, is coming from corporate, like hospitality, big hotels. And so she was saying, oh, I was a director, and she was, going over her accolades. And then I kind of had to make it clear for her. I said, but here's the thing. When you're working for like a Marriott, you're not making the decisions for Marriott. Those decisions are made by somebody like me sitting in headquarters. I said, so you're just administering the work. You're not decision making at all. Now you're thrown into an environment where you're the sole decision maker and you don't know what to do. And it's okay. It's not your fault because, again, you had this title as director. You got this other director job, but it's not apples to apples, and HR is not the same everywhere you go. And so as professionals, we find ourselves, kind of jammed up. But it's up to us to decide sort of what do we do then, right? Do you, just flub your way through, and many of them do. Or are you really going to dig in and figure it out and learn it? That person actually did not. And I actually ended up letting her go. Oh, was this turning into a live talking about firing people? No, it wasn't that. Like I spent a lot of time coaching. And as a coach, I would say that everybody, hey, Wendy, welcome in. Everybody is not coachable, unfortunately. And I am the first to say it. Everybody isn't coachable. I tried to coach her. We sent her to classes. We sent her to train. I was like, okay, well, maybe she just can't hear from me. Sent her to do some of that work. Did the whole performance evaluations and performance improvement plans. But at the end of the day, we're all in charge of our own success. So, either I can't want it for you more than you want it for you. And that's sort of where we ended. And so even though my new director had a little faux pas, hey, Worship Wave, welcome in this week. I'm going to spend a lot of time with her. Thank you for the heart me during her supervision tomorrow and use all of these coachable moments. Hey, she's so rude. Thank you, Wendy. And yeah, get her straight. Thank you, she's so rude, for the heart me. And thank you for those fast pops, Worship Wave, and get her, again, help her to understand these teachable moments. She's not a one-woman show. You're going to have to do a little more work over here than you had to do over there with the ballerinas. We built a little different over here. Good. How are you? This is my first day back live since vacation. So I am glad to be back. I did stream a few times. I would love to work with you. She's definitely missed a blessing. Yeah, she's good, and when I hired her like I'm trying to be out of there in 2 years, y'all. And I hired her with knowing that, I would spend 2 years, coaching with her, developing her, grooming her to step in when I'm ready to step out. Yeah, so it's fine. We'll walk through it. And she's open. And that's sort of it. That's like to being coachable. Like you've got to be open to feedback. And most people aren't. I just did a piece of content the other day that basically said that, like, if you're not performing well at work, it's probably your fault. And a lot of it has to do with how you receive feedback. Like some people just can't hear it. Like they don't want to hear it. There's no accountability, no responsibility. They blame shifting everybody else for what they did or didn't do. You have sort of that bucket. And then you have those that's just like, well, they haven't fired me yet, so I'm going to just keep coasting. And, eventually that ship is going to run out too, and what I said in the content, which is so true, is like, there's always this short list of like who the problem people are and who the poor performers are. And when funding gets tight, guess what? Your name is at the top of the list. Hey, For Us All Creations, welcome in. Thank you for the heart me. Your name is at the top of the list, so eventually like you can't coast forever, so why do that? Let's just take in charge. Thank you, Worship Wave, being the title gifter of the donuts. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I wasn't on yesterday. Gift gallery reset is here. But yeah, you've got to take control of our own futures and reset your life if you want it. If not, you can't work for me. You're going to have to move on. Doc Styles said, oh, governors, can you grab Doc Styles' comment? Oh, the chat is chatting. It's moving so fast. Can you grab that? Oh, maybe I can grab it. I think I got it. Dr. Styles, I will say I have experienced or experiencing poor leadership, but of course I'm a shine. Exactly. And that's it too. We all, every leader isn't great. And even, we all have our flaws and our drawbacks. Thank you for the roses. But, we still have to keep shining in spite of, my boss and I, we've worked together for a long time. It's about 13, 14 years now. And so we both know each other's blind spots, which helps us, in areas where he's weaker, I try to be stronger and sort of vice versa. But I've had bad leaders too. And, I'm still going to do me and still going to do the best that I can do. Thank you for the hand heart. In spite of that, because that's just who I am. Like I'm just, you may suck, but I'm not. I'm going to keep shining, keep doing the best I can, and for me, like I think about, and not to get too churchy, but I think about that verse all the time that talks about like when you're working, you work as if you're working for the Lord. And so if I'm not going to give the Lord mediocre, I'm not going to do that on my job either. That's you too, for us all creations. Exactly. Like I'm not going to dim my light. I'm not going to do less work because you're not. TW, oh, there's backup. Welcome in. Yeah, I'm not gonna dim my light because you just ain't shining as bright as me. So that's just a little bit of insight. There were so many questions on that, and I'm probably gonna do a couple pieces of content too on HR because there's always responses to it. And a lot of it, and the biggest problem is that most people that are in the field, a lot of people fall into it by accident. Because I don't think anybody, like I didn't wake up and when I was a kid saying, oh, I want to be an HR lady when I grow up. Never. And I fell into it, I think, like a lot of people. I was working at Citibank. Governance, that's how long ago this was. So Governance, y'all, she's my moderator, but she's also my cousin. We worked together many years ago at Citibank. And at a huge department of like 25 people. And, when you're working for a big company like that, HR is truly doing nothing but push at the local level. They're just doing paperwork. Like there's no insight. Hey, Curtis, welcome in. There's no, they're not coaching. They're not developing. That's sort of not what they do. But I had 25 people. So I had to end up doing a lot of that. New York City. I am in New York City, Dr. Styles. I work in Manhattan. And I live 30 minutes north of the city. And girl, can't wait to get out. Yeah, I'm torn. You're here? Are you in New York too? Dr. Style? Yes, I am. I work in Manhattan and live north of the city. Oh, yeah. Who doesn't? I love it. Like, I've been here. Oh, you're in Dallas. I love Dallas too. I've been there a couple times. Beautiful city. I'm thinking about retirement. It's either going to be North Carolina or Florida. Oh, your bestie lives in Brooklyn. Okay, go Brooklyn. Yeah, it's been great. I cannot say that. New York City has been very, very, very good to me. I've told this story different times, and it's about truly, it was during one of my own resets. I was living in Atlanta. I raised my girls in Atlanta, and they had both went off to college, and first of all, I had to figure out who I was outside of these kids. I wanted to do after that. I was like, okay, I know I wanted to end my career and serving in nonprofit. And I was like, okay, well, New York City has the biggest, headquarters of nonprofits. And I came to the city. I slept on my friend's daybed futon thing. I was like, okay, I got enough money to take care of myself for 2 months. And if it doesn't work, okay, I got to figure out what's next. I was in the city for 3 weeks. And my one and only interview is the same boss that I work for today. And it's been 14 years. But yeah, and so it was just one of those things. And it was so interesting. I've told this story. It was an interim position. It was an interim HR position. They were going through a merger. And I know what mergers, people always lose jobs in mergers. And please stop telling people that that no one's going to lose their job because you're lying. And yes, jobs are always lost in a merger. So this was a temporary position, basically to just keep the HR ship floating until the merger closed. But I took it. I bet on myself. I was like, well, I know I'm a good worker. They're going to hire me to do something. and merger fell through. And I, assumed a permanent position. Like I said, and this is the same CEO, and he and I have been working. This is actually our third nonprofit organization that we are at together now. And so I've moved with him. Yeah, I lost time in my merger. Yeah, mergers are not, they're great for companies. Hey, Ray, welcome in. They can be good for some employees, but there's always going to be some loss. I hate when I hear, leaders say, oh, no one's going to lose their jobs. Nothing, benefits aren't going to change. Things always change. And just be honest, just be transparent, because it always changes. But yeah, and I bet on myself, and I took a pay cut with that job. It was an interim job, and it was $55,000. And that really may sound like a lot of money, and maybe in some parts of the country, but in New York City, $55,000, you might be hungry, for real. And years later, though, I have more than 5x that salary many, many times. So it's about betting on yourself, resetting, stepping out on faith, and just, betting on yourself and just doing it. Yeah. But it's been a great journey. I told him he's got 2 more years. I'm still going to consult, because I'm still going to keep that check now. That's right. What we do, we level up and get paid. Yeah. So I am actually transitioning back into consulting, trying this whole content creator live host thing. For those of you that are content creators, we've been talking lately about going viral. And I have some videos that, quote unquote, have gone viral, but there's no rhyme or reason. It's like, I don't know. I don't understand the algorithm. Do y'all? Things that went viral, I didn't think would. And those that I just knew would, didn't. I'm like, I don't understand what's happening. Do any of you? Absolutely not. Right? She's so rude. It seems like, Misha always tells us to manipulate the algorithm. Well, I can't figure it out. Right. I don't understand it at all either. She's so rude. It don't make sense. So my Samara says, just post it and keep moving, and don't even think about it. Look back and, look at the numbers and let it do what it do. So I guess we just keep going and keep pushing. Yep. Exactly. You're right. She's so rude. She said, I'm just posting and rolling the dice. Exactly. Because there's no rhyme, no reason to it at all. So we just keep moving. So yeah, I am in the middle of, this is a career reset, preparing to exit from that job in 2 years and getting out of New York City. I'm thinking about North Carolina or Florida. Hey, football white dog mom, welcome in. Thank you for the heart, me. North Carolina or Florida. I talked to so many people on the ship from Florida. Hey, how are you, sweetheart? Don't understand. I know, we just keep showing up. That's all we can do for us all creations. We just keep, hey, Celine, welcome in. We just keep showing up, keep doing all the things. You're in Florida, pick North Carolina. My heart is in North Carolina. My church is in North Carolina. My 2 best friends are in North Carolina. And I don't know, I wasn't really thinking about Florida until I talked to so many people on a cruise ship that live in Florida. And maybe I was just jealous that they were just going to get off the boat and drive an hour home. And I had to get on that plane with that screaming 3-year-old for 3 hours. I mean, she yelled, and it was the more her parents was like, shh, shh, the louder she got. I was like, what is happening? Yeah, it was a rough ride home. And then I flew into LaGuardia, which, you've been to New York. If you've been to New York, everywhere is a madhouse. But the Sunday after Thanksgiving, oh my God. I really felt like all 8 million people in New York City were at the airport. It was insane. Oh, governor said, our mamas would not have gone for that. They was them others. You already know. And listen, y'all, I'm so messy. I was trying to video them, right? you know that trend that says, put some praise music to your toddler having a tantrum. I was trying to film the kids and the dad caught me. I said, Rhonda, put that phone back in your purse. Oh yeah, he caught me. Okay, yes, because I was sure about to, because he was the boy before we got on the plane. I don't want to go on the plane anymore. I was like, oh. In the stroller, he's standing up, he's trying to climb out, and I said, oh, this is gonna make some good content. Now see, that would have had me go viral, y'all. See? But then I got busted, so that was the end of that. So yes, but welcome back. Take Action Tuesday. Digital products. Who's worked on them? Who's working on any? He needed a back. Listen, he was over it. And then he got, and you might have not been here when I talked about this, Frosted Creations. The son was sitting behind me, and he wants to push the back of the seat. And I was like, whew. And the father was trying to control him, but he's 3. He's just doing what 3-year-olds do. But little boy, whew, yeah, it was a long 3-hour flight. But yes, back to Take Action Tuesday. We have been talking about creating digital products. Those of you that hang out in Misha's room, she's been talking all about that. And we started working on some new ones a couple weeks ago, and just wanted to check in on how folks were doing. How have they been going? On the plane, sometimes brings me closest to God. Yeah, it's a whole lot of print. It really is, because he's behind me, and I know that he's 3. Hey, Messy with Center, welcome in. And yes, and I'm definitely trying to, be graceful. And plus, I was exhausted too. Thank you, Messy. It was an 8-day cruise. Getting off the ship. Everything was great. The getting off was a bit of a craziness, a nightmare. Oh, but AI, y'all, listen. This was the first time I seen this one, because now that I'm HR's, AI is taking jobs. I'm like, I'm like the detective. I'm scanning everything, looking for AI. But this one, I was like, oh, okay. So we're getting off the ship, and where again, customs and immigration used to be. It's a computer. It scans your face, and then it flashes on the screen. Immigration cleared. I was like, wow, more jobs gone to AI. And then, me and my daughter, we're nerds. So we're trying to figure out so what happened? So I remember when we had to set up, right, exactly, football wife, dog mom. No, right. Okay, right. The federal government. So I was like, well, wait. How did they know? How did they know I'm in the computer? But I remember when we first, thank you for being the title gifter of the hat and mustache. Thanks, Nikki. When we had to set up our profiles on celebrities' website, we had to put in our passport number. We didn't have to give them a picture. We had to put in the number and the, uh-oh, y'all. I'm running my mouth too much. Let me lean off. We had to put in the expiration date and the number. So my guess is somehow they're connected. Their computers are connected with immigration to know all the people that were traveling. Because even getting on board, we didn't have to show. Getting on the ship, we didn't have to show our passports. But coming off, we had to stand. And it's like big, all these 4 stations, Immigration and Border Control, and there's 4 computers, and you stand there, and it scans your picture, and then it flashes on the screen. Immigration cleared. I was like, wow. Yeah, this AI thing, like they said, it's taking task-related jobs more and more. It's that's why we got to get prepared. We have to get prepared. And thinking about all the different ways that we can do to just diversify our revenue. Like if I think about, and I did watch that program that Mish talks to us about, hey, Joan, welcome in, AI and the future of us. And that if work is really, because of technology, if our 5-day jobs are going to shrink down to 3 days a week, that means our pay is going to shrink too, right? Because we're not going to be doing, maybe if it was 40 hours, maybe it shrinks to 30 or it shrinks to 25. we've got to be able to make up that difference in income, so we got to start thinking about that. And it doesn't necessarily have to be digital products, but whatever that thing is, we just got to start thinking about that and getting prepared for, diversifying revenue streams. Something that's new, and I don't know if it's I've seen it in HR and I've seen it like with CEOs. Interesting, like Doc, I don't know if this is in the medical field, but this new term is coming out called fractional positions. And it's really just what it says. So I've seen like fractional HR. And basically that means like we only need about 5 or 10 hours of your time. And so that's how companies are saving money. But I'm about to go explore the fractional road and see what that like. If I can get a little 10 hours over here, a little 10 hours over there, I still got my little 40 over here. Listen, I'm trying to fill all the buckets. But maybe in your fields, like look and see, maybe do some research, look on LinkedIn and see if the term fractional in front of whatever it is you do, see if that's a thing. And if it's not, I feel like it's coming, like it's going to hit sort of all industries where, money is going to get tighter. And so companies are going to look at, okay, what are the things we definitely need to pay someone for? And maybe what are the things that maybe we live without? Or maybe some things we just don't do, or we got married the admin doing it. Like if I think about even in my work, like, I mean, it's a good job and all of that. But like, I know my boss ain't on TikTok, but like, does he really need me to do what I do? Probably not. He probably could get away with a cheaper somebody. Ain't gonna be me, but he could probably get away with a cheaper somebody, But I think like in 3 to 5 years, like companies are really they're gonna be forced to start thinking about like, what do we absolutely need to pay for? And I feel like that term fractional we're gonna start seeing it more and more in the workspace because of just out of necessity. So just something to think about. And I'm gonna do definitely some more research before next week. And just see how widespread. You're right, governance. AI has no personality. And like, and if the federal government, this is where it's like, that was to me, seeing that AI system used for immigration and border control, that to me said a whole lot. For one, if the federal government is using this, hey, short stuff, if the federal government is using it, then that says a whole lot to me about just how widespread these advances are going to see. And I feel like we're going to be seeing more and more. So it's going to be, it'll be an interesting next couple of years. Like they're all saying sort of, most of the statistics say like 3 to 5 years, we're going to see huge changes in how we work and the work we do. So it'll be interesting. So I'm hoping to be out of at least full time, but I'm gonna still be out here hustling and, getting my groove on and getting my fractional dollars all over the place. But I'm definitely gonna do some research on that term. Because I know I've seen it like with CEO roles, I've seen it in HR, but I really want to understand like what's the future sort of it, that I can share, with you all. But anybody worked on any digital products? If not, I can talk through a little bit of one I'm thinking about doing. Okay, football mom just finished making dinner. Always good to see you. Good to see you too. Thank you for popping in. Have a wonderful night. One I'm going to work on and I started working on is about getting paid and promoted. Like I've done management products. I've done, career reset products, but never about just sort of what it takes to really get paid and promoted. And it's not, just about grinding and working harder. It's so much more than that. It's about visibility. It's about being seen. It's about making yourself seen, just like we do, here on TikTok, like these, gifter badges, and we go into rooms and we're marketing ourselves, making ourselves seen. It's the same thing. It's no different, than at work. It's about relationship building. It's about being seen. Of course, it's about being able to, deliver. You need to deliver on the results that, you're asked to do. But it's so much more about relationships than sort of anything else. So that is what I'm working on. So I'm looking on, hopefully I'll be done with that in probably 2 weeks. So looking forward to getting that out, into into the atmosphere. And yeah, just sort of keep moving. I am just super, super excited on that. For those that haven't started, has anyone thought about working on digital products? If not, if it's something you're thinking about and maybe just don't know what to do, probably the biggest, hey, Dr. VRE, welcome in. Probably the biggest takeaway of something you think about is when you're creating or thinking about it, remember to focus on the transformation that you're selling. So it's not that you're just selling this PDF or this audio book or whatever it is, this video course. It's the transformation. Hey, Lavender Lee. Oh, I like that name. Welcome in. It's the transformation that you're selling. And so, your language needs to be sort of about that. Like, what will they be like on the other side of, using your, whatever it is, if it's a checklist, a toolkit, a guidebook, sort of whatever it is. What is that transformation going to be for them on the other side? Hey, PC Swimming, welcome in. How are you? I haven't been to swim class. Thank you for the heart me. I haven't been to swim class. Have you all met PC Swimming? She is an amazing live host. And what should I call you? What is it, like not the ghost whisperer, the fear whisperer? Yeah. So I connected with her because I don't know how to swim, y'all. I'm 58 and do not know how to swim. And I've had some crazy yes, water. Oh, I like that, Governess. Governess said you're a water mentor. Oh, it's snow. It wasn't snowing in New York City, but I got upstate to my hometown and it is snow here on the ground. I was like, oh joy. I was like 88 degrees to snow. Planes, trains, automobiles, and boats in the last 3 days. This is just a whole lot. But I haven't learned to swim, and had it's so interesting. And PC, I haven't even had a chance to tell you my whole story, but my water trauma is not even really my own, which is kind of crazy too, I think. But wait, you said snowmobile? Hold on. Who said something about a snowmobile? Oh, my hair? Oh, you think so, girl? Thank you, girl. And probably because I had a hat on again and a hoodie because it was snowing here. I'm like, come on. I am being punked, y'all. Oh God, yes. See, I don't forgot what the hell I was talking about. Lord. This is what happens at 58 too. PC Swimming Fear. It was so interesting. I was in her live watching all the pool things, and I was talking about fear and just haven't learned to swim because of the fear. And she asked me, had I gone live? And I was like, what? Like, what does that have to do? You're a swim coach. Why are you all up in my head? And at that point, I hadn't. And I had been stalling. Like I had been saying, we talk, like I said, we can rationalize anything. I kept saying, oh, no, I need to learn more. I need to study more. I need to spend more time in rooms, looking at other live hosts and just stalling. And she said, well, I need you to go live. And this is actually week 5. And this was actually, today is Tuesday. Yes, it was 5 weeks ago today that she said that to me. And I went live the very next day and have been going live ever since. So I am actually going to go out to where she is and spend a week in the spring. I'm going to be all her content, I'm going to be the star. I said, well, I'm going to be TikTok famous. But yeah, I'm going to spend a week. And I'm trying to convince my moderator cousin governess to go with me. And her sisters are in Kansas City. Okay. So yeah, she needs to come with me so we can conquer this thing. But looking forward to do that. Now you said messy. You said, 6 inches. Oh, is that why you were on live earlier? I saw you from the hallway. And I said, I wonder if they don't have school today. Yeah, they said the East Coast is just getting, yeah, well, it's that time of year. It is that time of year. It's not a lot of snow here, but there was none Oh, 6 inches snow day. Oh, I know you teachers are like, yes. Yeah, I saw your light on earlier. I was on a train and oh, okay, PC, no school, so the pool is closed. Oh, okay. Well, you all don't, do you get snow out there, PC, where you are? I don't know why I didn't think snow was out there. Oh no, Messy, we not way over there. We're on the west part of the state. We're Syracuse way, going that way towards Syracuse. Okay, Midwest, you do get snow. Okay. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, so the snow day is here. Yeah, I saw your light on earlier, Messy, and I said, oh, she's online. Okay, sounds good. Okay, so digital products, just wanted to again share that. If you're thinking about creating them or something you want to do, just think about, again, the transformation. Oh, okay, you're in the Capital District. Oh, yeah. No. But I'm just dreaming about retirement life in the warm climate of, I don't know, North Carolina or Florida. She's so rude, told me to go to North Carolina because she's in Florida. I think Florida might be a little too hot. So yeah, it probably will end up being North Carolina. Thank you, PC Swimming. Whew, I don't know about y'all, but I have some folks that are fighting for the live fest to save their lives tonight. They're trying to, I don't know, rank up and do all the things, and they're like battling all night long. I was like, listen, y'all can't get all my coins tonight. I'm gonna give a few, but Misha has her birthday battle on Thursday, so I got to save my coins for my girl. But yeah, they are trying to get into the top 50. And I like when I'm playing on the battle side, I play with Pretty Boy Ali a lot, and he's like in the number one spot. He ain't going nowhere. He may have dropped down a little, but I mean, I have never seen as many lions, tigers, and bears than being in his room. Okay. And when I first went in his room a few times, only because Mish mentions him a lot, and when she, when we be spying on the people and looking at their stats, he's at the top a lot. And so I said, well, I got to go in his room. I mean, if I'm going to learn the battle and play, I want to go and play with a winner. So started going into his room. So yeah, I play when I want to play on the playing side. I play with him. But yeah, like I just sit there and watch, and like the money and the gifts that are thrown. And some people, they just like, this is like the adults video game. They have a grand old time in there. Like I've seen thousands and thousands of dollars, and I'm just like, wow, yeah. But yeah, so I'm gonna go show some love to a couple other people. You're supposed to, you're having a battle on Friday, BC? Do you have a registered? Like, do you have a link that we can register? Let me know. I definitely want to come and support. Is this your first battle? Hi, Levite Chick. Welcome in. How's Reset Life going, Levite Chick? P-Sweet, let us know if you have a link we can register. Oh, it's your first. Okay. Awesome. All right. You have a link we can register? Can we register? Because I'm 58, girl, this memory. Oh, thank you for leveling up to level 5. How are you doing? How's resetting and pausing and relaxing and all that good stuff going? Well, not yet. Okay, they're working on it. Okay, good deal. Okay, yeah, no, I'll definitely show up to support. Yeah, my first one was Bryce, the agency. It was my grad battle. I'm with GQ, and it was our grad battle. And it was amazing. But yeah, I want to start maybe one day a week, probably on the weekend, just battling, because I just think it's fun. Like I'm always on the other side of it, of course, playing. And then of course, when you're on live, like the requests be like they I mean, I know this is a real job for some folk because they be on it. Yeah, I'm like a kid too. I think it's fun too. And and I like to snipe and do all the things. Um, hey, beautiful, all is well. Okay, December 10th. Oh, okay, December 10th. Okay, so you winding down. That's a good time of year though. You can take the rest of the year off, relax, decompress, leave all that behind, and kick 2026 in the head. Good for you. Thank you, PC Swimming. Good. That is wonderful. It's a good time of year too to take a break. I'm gonna take an unofficial break. That's the one thing I love about HR. Like between Thanksgiving and the New Year, employees don't be doing no crazy. Everybody's all happy and having a good time. So yes, it's other than, this recent situation, but other than that, everyone is happy and having a good time. Yes. Yep. Exactly. Enjoy that. Okay. Right. Taking that unofficial one too. Because sometimes you have to have them days. My daughter calls it them fake working days. I say, hey, sometimes, it just be like, hey, Jalissa, welcome in. Sometimes, we got to do what we have to do to keep pressing on, and tomorrow's another day. That is. My secretary is the best. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. I know. Awesome. You got to have some good people around you, even through transition and change. Hey, Apostle, welcome in. Having some good people around you. And, I'm going to talk tomorrow. It's really interesting. This has come up a lot in a lot of content, and I've been doing like a lot of reset content lately with the new year, because that's when I start thinking about sort of what's next. A lot of comments about when family and friends derail you or try to. So tomorrow for Winning Wednesday, we're going to talk about how we're going to work through all of that, and either you working through them, around, up, down, like doing what you need to do. And the most important thing I think I shared with this person, I replied to her today, is that like, stop telling everybody everything. Let your progress and let your movement speak for itself. That too is fear-based. You're right. It is. And it's their fear. And that you're so right, PC Swimming. And that is like, it's their fear that you're going to change and you're going to leave. I shared once, during one of my, why he's an ex-husband, rants that, I was deciding at this one point in time whether I wanted to go back to school, finish my master's, or find a new job. And he basically was like, okay, I'm tired of hearing you talk about it. Just pick one, do something. And so I decided to go back to school. But he didn't like the person I became. Oh, thank you, PC Swimming, for being the title gifter of the Corgi. He didn't like the person I became. And that was his fear. And he basically said, like, the worst thing he could have ever done is encourage me to go back to school. Thank you for that. I'm going to exit stage left. You have a nice life. And, what I shared with this person is like, stop talking about what what you're going to do, because everybody isn't going to root for you. Yep, you're right. And, his own ego, like, some men, want to be Captain Saver. Oh, I don't think I can say that on TikTok. And even that conversation, it was like, do you want me to want you or need you? Like, what? Don't you want me to want you more than need you? And he was like, no. Okay, well, I'm out. But yeah, and it's their fear. It's their fear. So we're going to talk a little bit about that tomorrow in response to that, and how you work through and around that, because it's just real. You see it all the times. You see it with friends. Like if you start to elevate and maybe your friends didn't or aren't, and maybe like your conversation is changing. Like you don't want to talk about the whatever anymore. And yeah, all of that. What is governance? I'm going to need you to get out of my, yeah. And listen, I don't need you to get out of my way, because I'm gonna move around you. I'm gonna go right on around you. You stay right there. I'm going over here. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, PC. It just really is like, It's a whole lot. And, family and friends can, try to derail you. And, this one woman, she said something, it was prayer about, it was a post about prayer. And she said something like, I keep praying and my life is full of unanswered prayers and basically and family. And I was like, well, you might need to step away. Like, I love my family dearly. However, I haven't lived in the same city with them in, 27 years. Because I know that I couldn't be the fullness of me if I stay here. And I'm okay with that. And, I moved. So you stay right where you at. I'm going over here. And, that doesn't work for everybody, but that's what I needed to do for me. And that's what I was sharing with this young lady I was messaging with earlier. Like, you have to take control of your own life, and it may not look the way you may have thought it was going to look on the other side, or even the path or in the road that you have to take. But you got to do what's best for you. And period. Like, that's it. Period. Oh, stop it, Governor. Somebody, yes, she left me. That is my cousin, y'all. She's my moderator. She's also my cousin. But no, I needed to do what's best for me. And I encourage everybody to kind of do that. And sometimes it doesn't mean leaving. It just sort of whatever that thing is. And then stop talking. That is the biggest thing I said to her. I said, because everybody's not rooting for you. You may think that everybody's in your corner and they're not. Yeah, you got the silent haters in your family too, unfortunately, and even in your friend group. And just move. Like, just move in silence. Move in silence. Your movements will show what you're doing. Absolutely. You're right. They are not. Well, thank you all. I have got to go. I've got to go support some battle, folks. A couple of them are my teachers and my coaches. So I'm definitely going to show up. I'm only playing 2 games and that's it. But I started early so that I could have time to go show up and support them. I thank you all for hanging out and spending time with me. I hope I've shared some information that was helpful, made you think or entertain, had some good laughs, and I will definitely be back here tomorrow. And yes, PC, we're going to talk about fear. We're going to talk about winning in spite of who's in our circle. Why am I getting a puzzle? Come on. Really, TikTok? Okay. Just as I'm about to wrap it up, it wants to give me a puzzle piece. Well, thank you all for everything that you've done to support this live. Spirit fingers, the presence, the gifts of love. I'm very appreciative. And hopefully I've made you think or at least laugh and have a good time. And I will see you all in the TikTok streets.